Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another Hangout and Highlight session on the Success Chronicles with the TNOYS people. And I'm excited to have them on, highlight them. Amazing people doing some great things to make a positive impact in our world. I'm truly excited to have them on. And so what I'd like to do is just have each person just go around and just, share who you are and just share a little bit about your background so the audience will have an idea of who you are, and then we'll dive deeper into it. And so, my mother always told me ladies first. So, Mary, I think we're gonna start with you. So if you don't mind, just tell us a little bit about, who you are and a little bit about your background.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chip. So my name is Mary Bergeron. I'm Director of Communications here at TNOYS, and I live in Austin. I lived in Austin for about 10 years now. And really, I came to TNOYS with about a decade of experience in marketing, communications, and project management. I've worked in both nonprofit and for-profit spheres and was really just very attracted to TNOY's approach and everything we do here at the organization. So really my role is a lot about being my go-to person to engage new audiences for TNOYS and connect our community to opportunities. So that includes storytelling, getting folks plugged into our events and our big happenings throughout the year, and expanding our member network. We work with about 100 organizations and professionals throughout the state.
That's awesome. So good. Adrian, we'll jump over to you. You're on mute, my man.
Thank you so much, Chip, for having us on. Again, I'm Adrian Jackson. I'm current Vice President of Home Life at California's Boys Ranch. I actually served on the TNOYS board back in 2016, 2017. And now I'm back for my second go around. Only been back for getting close to a year now, back on the board. TNOYS shares a similar mission as Cal Farley's, and so it's a very good fit for us to be a member agency and actually have people that's on the board. We've actually always have had somebody on the board for a very long time between Cal Farley's and TNOYS. It's a very good relationship. I've worked in this field for going on 28 years. My wife and we started off as house parents back in 1997 when we were wet behind the ears, and has promoted all the way up and have enjoyed our serving youth and also growing young leaders in this field. So I really enjoy it. I can't wait to have this conversation, and I'm pretty excited about today.
Awesome. Good deal. Derrick, we'll jump over to you.
Okay, hello. My name's Derrick McKnight, and I have over 20 plus years experience working with youth, and currently I work in the public health sector, and I have several different programs that I oversee for youth ranging from the age of 10 all the way up to 22 years old. And those programs are all about there's a peer-to-peer component to help prevent teenage pregnancy. So they're teaching them sexual health practices on a peer-to-peer basis, not promoting it. I want to make sure I say that. And then we have a career exploration workforce development program for our youth in the marginalized communities to really help them figure out what career they want and And then we also have a truancy prevention program. So I oversee all of those programs, and we have a fatherhood program. But I also, in a volunteer capacity, sit on the TNOYS board of directors, which I'm happy to serve because I'm really happy about their mission, and I think it's valuable and needed to be
Mhm.
able to advocate for our youth, especially those who are aging out of services,
Mhm.
and then also in my volunteer time, I'm a CASA volunteer, a court appointed service advocate for Travis County. I've had about 5 cases to date. Just closed one out, and so I see firsthand the huge need that that TNOYS has and the benefits of it. And also, I serve as the vice president of the National Forum for Black Public Administrators, Central Texas chapter. And that's just a professional organization that's been around for 40 years, and it serves as the catalyst for linking public and private organizations, as well as academic institutions to support the development of African Americans choosing to work in the public service career area.
That's
And thank
awesome.
you for having me.
Yes, sir. I'm so excited. One thing that you guys, may not know about me, longtime educator, fourth generation educator. So, and I come from a family of church people. I say church folk and educators. But it's just the service piece and the heart of service. And, from each of you, that's what you're about and that's what you do. And so I believe that the big man always sees fit to take care of us when we strive to help others. And so just, in jumping into the organization, if one of you don't mind sharing a little bit about, TNOYS and what it does.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I can kick us off. So really, TNOYS is a statewide network of organizations that provide support services for vulnerable youth and young adults. So these are organizations that are on the ground in their communities, really looking to help young people who might be involved in the child welfare system, experiencing homelessness, involved in the juvenile justice system, et cetera, to really connect them to these key resources. So TNOYS really acts as a connector ourselves and an advocate for these organizations and professionals that are all across the state to really work together to strengthen these support services, make sure that they're working better for young people and that they're well resourced, with the ultimate goal of helping young people overcome challenges and achieve healthy development. That's our mission. And so there are a few core ways that we do this.
Hmm.
We call it our three-pronged approach to systems change. So we have our policy advocacy. TNOYS is very active at the Texas Capitol and with state agencies that are implementing policies for young people. We have our practice body of work. So we work with and connect about 1,000 professionals every year to training, to technical assistance, to help these folks who are, frontline staff a lot of the time understand how they can better support young people. And then finally, we have our partnerships work. So we actually have a range of programming to invest in young people as leaders and really connect with these young people with lived experience so they can be part of all that we do. And so we're making sure that we're centering the voices of people who these services are intended to support.
So good. Just hearing you talk about that, I think it's a vast majority of people that are impacted by that. All right. Because it takes a village, if you will. But there's a number of people that's impacted by that. So how is T Noise making an impact?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I can speak to that a little bit as well. So I would say that a couple of the things that are really core to what we do here at TNOYS, which we helps further our impact, is really breaking down these silos between organizations.
Hmm.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the data tells us that oftentimes, if a young person is involved in one system, such as, for example, child welfare, they might be
Hmm.
involved in multiple systems. You know, they might be vulnerable to experiencing homelessness, being involved in the juvenile justice system, et cetera. So we're really looking to bring these organizations together to figure out how we can better serve young people across systems. And then I think another key piece that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier is just the need to center youth voices in everything we do. We have a saying here at TNOYS that is nothing about us without us, which really speaks to the fact that in order for systems to really make a difference, the people who are being affected by those systems have to be part of the solution.
Yeah, I love that. That's so
Mhm.
good.
I'll
Big
give
thing
you a
for
small
me.
example of
Yeah, come on.
something that, and there's a ton of examples, but I'm just going to give you a very small example. And a few months ago, a couple of board members, including myself, and the sponsors for the young adult program, we did mock interviews, and there was probably 10 young adults on there, a series of questions. And it was an amazing experience where you have the professionals that's already in the field, providing feedback and encouragement to about 10 to 12 young adults, and helping them grow and learn not only how to interview, but
Mhm.
just how to prepare for adulthood itself. And I think this, putting us in those same spaces with those young adults is going to, you talk about the impact. Man, what great impact is that? Where you look at all these years of experience between Mary and Derrick and myself and the other board members, um, pouring into these young adults. I think, along with their amazing sponsors, I mean, you're talking about changing the life one individual at a time, and that's just a small, like, the crazy thing, Chip, is that just a small piece of it. Like, and
Yeah.
you look at that as that's sometimes that's some people's whole program. It's just to touch 10 lives like that. So yeah, it's just an amazing experience. That's just a small example of the impact, specifically speaking on to that impact that TNOYS makes on young adult lives.
Yeah,
It's
and I would
awesome.
also say just empowering the youth voices. I see that is a huge impact, um, and leadership development. And one of the biggest things, a big example that I would give would be when, like for instance, we were at the conference on last year, and when you talk about empowering these youth, one of the young men there, he was like, "Hey, you know what? You're a black man. You're on the board. How did you get there?
Mm.
What did you do in your career? How do I do this?" And so then I was have that mentorship conversation, with him and encourage him like, hey, stay in school, and you're already on that track, so you got to finish it. You got to stay committed, and it's going to be greater, later. It might not always be rough, and so there's that empowering their voice and then their mentorship piece, and so all of those things are definitely helping make an impact, I think.
Can I
Yeah.
hit one more
Yes,
topic
sir.
and speak to the advocacy? Um, in my previous time on the board, I had the opportunity to participate with TNOYS with the Day at the Capitol and as a collective group. And, as a single organization, you may not have the voice to make policy impact. But when you partnership and become a member of TNOYS, then collectively voice can make a impact. And I remember one of the things at that particular time, we were trying to increase the prevention intervention money, which I think now that name has changed. But and it ended up happening. And so, as far as Cal Farley's, that's not what we needed, but for the next other 99 uh, organizations, that's what they needed. And so, being a part of that is been huge, and having a collective voice. So, just like Derrick spoke of, empowering the youth with voice, is similar for a singular organization that by itself couldn't do that, but as collective voice, member agencies with TNOYS, we can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just if I could, go off of what Adrian was saying, that's certainly a big piece of what we do here. And something that our members especially really appreciate is that we are very active at the Texas Capitol every legislative session. We're going into a legislative year starting in January, actually. And one of the things that we really try to prioritize is making sure that both young people and the providers that we work with have an opportunity to testify and meet with legislators on issues that are important to them and that support our policy priorities. So we always try to find those opportunities where we can have legislators hearing from both a young person who's experienced systems and then the provider, who are the folks, implementing on the ground and will be affected by whatever policy change is being put through. So we found that to be very effective and very impactful when we're on the Capitol.
Great. So what I'd like to ask is, maybe from either like Derrick or Adrian, like I know, like you talked about your backgrounds and some of the things that you're involved in and being on the board. I think there's three words that come up for me. I think the first word is mentorship, right? I believe that mentorship is rooted from service, right? That's the other word, which ultimately sets whoever you're giving service to up for success, right? So mentorship, service, success. So if y'all don't mind, just maybe one of you guys talk about, how those pieces, components, are expressed in TNOYS, right? Because, we've talked about a lot of different programs that are offered, the partnerships, the policy, like all of the different things. But man, there's so many great things that's going on. But if y'all don't mind, just kind of talk about like those components as it relates to what you guys are doing.
I think for the mentorship piece, for sure, they're all of the staff, not just us as board members, but all of the staff are readily available to the youth that are in the program, and that participate, and they're encouraging them to, or I should say we are all encouraging them to be the best, offering them like resources and letting them know like, hey, it's a safe space. It's and kind of a more like an open door policy. If you have a question, you ask it, right? Ask that question so that we can help. That's what we're here for. And I think it's safe to say all the youth that have participated in the program, we've seen them be successful and grow, and they still come back and they communicate with the staff and with everyone to say like, hey, thank you. And it's good to see how you see them when they first come into the program, and then see how they just flourish in life. And TNOYS does an amazing job with offering employment opportunities for these youth that as they move through the system or through the program. And so I think those are the things. And as I talk more about the mentorship, it doesn't happen just because, hey, they're done with the program. They could be 30 years old if they need to come back and ask questions and seek some resources. Everyone on the entire team, board included, would be more than willing to help and assist.
Love it. So good.
Yeah, I think Derrick spoke so elegant about it that it's hard to follow up with it. But there's a Young Adult Leadership Council, and the importance of that is development of your young leaders, and that's an important role for me personally as a board member to be a part and mentor and be a presence and lend an ear to those young adults, because that's the phase of life I'm in also too, right? As you start looking towards retirement, you start looking back at what's behind me and what's going to be better. And you want the people being developed behind you that's going to take the ropes and lead to do it better and bigger, and it becomes stronger. And so I'm just at that phase of life. So that's in that all facets of what I do. That's the phase of life I'm in, and TNOYS, the role with the young adults is just a huge part of that. And because statewide, we need these young adults to be able to keep this thing going, and so that's the mentorship is very important. We speak about service a lot, and it's not something that you manufacture. Is something that you live. You live with service, and all four of us on this platform today, we live with service. That's the life we decided. It doesn't pay with monetary. It pay with the best currency out there, and that's with relationships and connection. And so, I think the thing that we can offer to the state of Texas is for a place where young people can feel wanted, can feel a space for them to grow and a space for them to connect. And I think TNOYS is a huge part of that.
I love it. I love it. Well, how can people get involved with TNOYS?
Sure, so I can speak to that. So there are several ways to be part of what we do here at TNOYS. First and foremost, as I mentioned, we're a member network. So if folks do work directly with young people, provide services in their communities, we encourage them to explore becoming a member. And we do have a professional membership option for individuals who aren't able to join with their organizations. That's a great opportunity for folks who work in the education space, actually. We have a very large network of homeless and foster care liaisons, folks working at schools who join our work because they're looking to make that connection with providers in the community. And then another opportunity that I'd love to talk about is joining and being part of a camp that we actually have coming up in March. Since 1984, actually, we've partnered with the Department of Family and Protective Services on an experiential learning camp that takes place over spring break for older youth who are in the foster care system. So it's really a great opportunity for youth to join at camp with their caseworkers or another adult ally to build that relationship and to learn some of these critical skills that they'll need for transitioning into adulthood, like communication, team building, problem solving, etc. So we're really looking for volunteers to support us with the camp. It takes place this March in Wood Creek, which is about an hour south of Austin. We have a beautiful location for the camp. And so if folks are interested in joining us and really making that huge difference for children in the foster care system, we'd love for you to get involved. So if folks go to tnoys.org, there's more information.
Good
Yeah.
deal. Good deal.
And there's also the opportunity if they can volunteer, they can also donate to support the Peaks camp, and send some of the which will help send some of the youth to the camp. And I guess all of that can be found on the website that Mary mentioned. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. We have several opportunities to sponsor the camp as well. And, really, the camp would not be possible without our sponsors, without our dedicated volunteers who join us. And it really is a transformative experience for kids who often, this is their only chance to have a traditional camp experience, to
Mhm.
enjoy, a week of the great outdoors, while building and learning those skills that are so essential for transitioning into adulthood.
Yeah.
Good
And
stuff.
Mary, I was also going to say, I think the qualifications to volunteer, what is it, 21 years of age, and then they have to pass a criminal history background and child abuse and neglect background checks. I
Yeah.
think that's important to note.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then also, I think there will be um, a training, a virtual training session prior to the camp, and that date is probably not scheduled yet. Mary, I'm not sure.
We do have it scheduled. It
Uh-uh.
is, I'm trying to remember exactly. It's February 20th. So we'll have a virtual training to get everyone up to speed on roles during camp, everything they'll need to know so we can kind of hit the ground running when we're there in March.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, as we close, I know you mentioned the site for the camps and everything, but if there's any other social medias that you would like to share for a Texas Network of Youth Services, TNOYS, so people can go out and check them out and show you guys some love with all of the amazing things you have going on.
Yeah, absolutely. We very much encourage that. We are active on Facebook and
Hmm.
Twitter/X as well as Instagram. So our handles for Facebook and Instagram are TNOYS1 and then TNOYS. And then for Twitter, it is TNOYS. And then we also encourage folks to sign up for our newsletter on our website. That's a great way to kind of be the first to know about new trainings, events, volunteer opportunities, other ways to get involved.
I do have one more thing too. We have, I think, the closing to the conference presentation proposals is up in January. So for all your presenters and trainers, and we have the annual conference, and also if you need your conference out, your hours, your training hours, or just want to come and get some amazing training, our annual conference also is a good way. And we also have sponsorship for that also. So,
Yeah.
Mary, you have any additional information about our annual conference?
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. So this is truly our flagship event. It happens, we've been doing it for over 40 years.
That's
And it
awesome.
happens, yeah, and it takes place in Houston and typically draws over 500 folks who work in the youth services space, so across systems that serve young people. So it's
Hmm.
a great way to sharpen your skills if you're out of the fields working with young people, if you're interested in learning best practices for working with young people. And as Adrian said, we right now have our workshop proposals open for folks who might be interested in presenting. We have sponsors and exhibitors open, and then we're opening registration in early February.
Yeah, Chip, we got to get our proposal together.
Oh,
All right.
I was waiting on that. I was
I
waiting.
know.
I was, I was waiting on that. I was gonna say, I think, last year, I think I may have gone to that and heard a
Yes, that's where
pretty
you
good
came.
speaker last year. I
Mhm.
think I went to that, and then I think when I heard that amazing speaker speak, I think I mentioned to that speaker that, man, I love to be able to give service to do that as well. Oh, wait, that was you.
That was me. I guess we zooming about our proposal tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. That's awesome. Well, guys, I just want to say thanks again. You got something, Derrick?
Yeah, I just wanted to also mention the TNOYS CSA Resource Center for preventing and responding to commercial sexual exploitation of youth. So the organization has put together some resources for that. So if there's an organization out there serving youth, please go onto the website and check that out under resources. It's very beneficial and could help.
There you go. Good deal. Well, guys, I just want to say again, thank you so much for the service that you give, what you do, and how you do what you do, because there's a difference there, right? You can just do something, but it's a difference in how you operate and how you do things. And so, truly thankful for you, and I wish you all continued success in the things that you're involved in, as well as in the organization TNOYS.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate it.
Yes,
Yep. Thank you.
yes.
It was a pleasure.
Yes, yes. And thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.